Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the One Talk podcast. Here with your host, Ryan McCarthy. And today we are joined by Kisembo Simba. And Kisembo Simba is the founder of Kisembo Simba Uganda, which is a private tours and travel company based in Uganda and specializing in tailor-made and set departure holidays around East Africa, including Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda. Their size is also a big part of their success. They are large enough to undertake the biggest holiday safaris for all East African-based best destinations, from solo travelers to group safaris. They have trained and enforced best practices to considering professional tour guides and comfortable accommodations. So in today's episode, we touch a lot on Uganda, the country, also the safari tours, the Silverback Trekking that they run. Also, we touched on the great community of Uganda and the culture of Uganda as well, and some of the things that they offer with Kisembo Simba Uganda private tours is an 8-day trip to Melchizian Falls, which is a gorilla trek, an 8-day gorilla trek. They've also got a 9-day wildlife sighting safari tour, which includes chimp and gorilla trekking as well. They also offer an 8-day snow-capped Rwenzori mountains hike. They also have a 7-day safari in Rwanda and Uganda, another gorilla and chimp trekking, and so much more. They have so much to offer, and there's just so much to learn about Uganda and their culture and community and safaris and silverback trekking. So I am really keen for everyone to listen to today's episode, learn a lot more about Kisembo, learn a lot more about the culture, and learn a lot more about Uganda and safari tours. But without further ado, let's welcome Kisembo.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. The marathon continue. Victory lap tonight, though. Victory lap tonight.
Welcome to the One Talk podcast with Ryan McCarthy.
The marathon continues. That's what you were saying.
Welcome, Kisembo. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, thank you. I'm really keen to dive in today's episode with yourself because I became aware of your page on Instagram around the work that you do. And from there, it made me really interested to find out more information, because when I started to look more into the work that you do and following the links on your Instagram, I started to see how important your message is, and this message of saving the gorillas and also bringing tourism, because how much it can help protect and also build. But I'd love to hear from yourself, like an introduction into who you are and the work that you do, just so myself and the audience here have a good understanding.
Hey, okay. My name is Kisembo, and I'm a tour operator based in Uganda. And yeah, we do safaris across Uganda. And I'm a photographer and a content creator. I started these things like 5 years ago with love of nature and trying to uncover the beauty of my country and to show the world what we are having. And Uganda right now, the biggest thing that supports our country is tourism, because we are getting a lot of revenue from tourists who are coming in Uganda. So I really wanted to attract more people, or to show more people what we are having in our country. So it really inspired me, because I grew up, I'm like, well, I would really love to visit this place. I would really love to visit this place, but I never had an opportunity. So when I started doing these things, I'm like, I think there are a lot of people who really need to see these things. Right now the world is so digital. So every time I go, I record videos and I try to share it to the world. And I'm really happy that you reached out to my page, and we are here now. I'm really happy for you to host me today.
Yeah, I'm really keen to get into it, because how long ago did you start the Instagram page?
Well, the page is very young. Right now, the page is like 1.5 years old.
Yep.
Yeah, but the concept of the page was just to market every activity, like tourists always come in Uganda and then they make reels to show that they have been in Uganda. This is the experience they were in. Like they try to show what they did on their safari during that time when they were in Uganda. So I used to share those reels on the page. But recently, I had a vision of this page to grow. I really desired the page to grow to attract more people. People to get to know my country. I really loved that because few people out there know that know Uganda. Some will be their first time to hear about Uganda. Some don't know that Uganda has this. Uganda has this. Some really don't know about Uganda. So this page has made me reach out to you and I'm really happy. I'm really getting a lot of engagements, like people trying to ask me, where is Uganda? How can I do this activity? It's really amazing. Yeah, I'm getting some positive comments, some negative comments. But to me, it's very okay. I'm happy. I'm like, well, if you didn't see this video, you wouldn't have known. So the page has grown now, and it has a huge international following. So I'm start seeing the dream. I'm start seeing the dream of the page. I'm start seeing the fruits of the page because it's attracting people. I'm getting inbox. People want to come and visit Uganda now. They want to do this gorilla trekking. I'm really happy for that.
Yeah, it's amazing because I've never been to Uganda. I'd love to go one day, but what I have seen of Uganda, it looks like such a beautiful place. When you think of Uganda, what comes to your mind first?
Yeah, so when we speak to Uganda, when someone talks about Uganda, I know most of people know River Nile,
Yeah.
and I think you have River Nile.
Mm.
River Nile, the source is from Uganda. People should know. So if I think of Uganda, Uganda is a country that has a lot of things to see, beautiful people, culture, friendly people, um, beautiful weather that I guarantee, and fresh water bodies, and a lot of culture. We have 52 different languages, and our official language is English and Swahili. I hope you have ever heard about Swahili.
No, I haven't. What is that?
Yeah, Swahili is a language used in Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda. So right now it became a regional. It became a regional language, and most of the African countries use Swahili. Those Arab countries use Swahili a lot.
So that's like Eastern Africa, where that language usually is most spoken.
Yeah, it is mostly spoken in East Africa. Yes, mostly in Kenya and Tanzania, but right now it is spreading the whole of Africa because 76% of the countries in Africa they are speaking Swahili.
Mm. Yeah, well, yeah, it's quite
Like,
a big, yeah, sorry.
no, it's okay. Because people knew English, but they needed a language which will unite them.
Mm.
So our region came out with an idea of like, why can't we embrace and welcome Swahili? So right now, people are using Swahili. So it's our official language now.
And there's something amazing about being able to share your own culture and your own background with the world. And that's why I find social media great because it gives you the opportunity to really share your own background, share your own culture, share your people and where you're from, really put that out to the world. And that's what I love about social media because you can see and learn about so much from so many different parts of the world.
Yeah. So people in Uganda, they're really taking social media for granted. I think they think it's just a game. Like, okay, go in a restaurant and take pictures. So they just play a lot on social media. But to me, I saw a lot of potential. I saw that I can connect to to people out there. I can speak to people out there. Like social media is very huge because we share culture, we share experience. So imagine now I'm here with you, but it's because of social media. So it means when we use, because me personally, according to my experience, because I'm doing tourism, I really had to show what I'm offering to the world. And the world really welcomed what I'm offering, and they're really interested in what I'm sharing to them. And it's really amazing. So when I see you reaching out right now, I see a dream come true, because I never expected things. And I'm really happy and to be here as well.
And that's it.
So
Yeah, it's just continuing the journey of following your dreams. Along the way, you'll find your steps to get there.
yeah, sure. So like you can imagine, I'm really surprised in just 3 weeks. My page has grown from the page has grown from 2,000 to 100 and something. It brought business to my company. I have already got bookings for Safari this year and next year.
Wow.
So really an impact. So I'm really happy. So it means I should always do that. So I believe when we try to focus on doing something great on our social media handles, we can really do great.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. That's amazing. Because when you first got into photography, was your interest with safari and gorillas and nature, or how did you become about like find that as an interest?
Well, because here right now in Uganda, um, you can be in a state or like a district, and like you have a village there, like you're living in a village, but there are some tourist attractions. So, but someone can grow up to 30 years, not even reaching to that attraction, and it is very cheap, like $10 to go and pay. So here the mindset the people had was like these things are for tourists, and the people who come from outside Uganda to come and tour. So me personally, I grew up, I never had access, at least when I used to see those kids go on a tour. I really loved too, but I never had an opportunity of paying to go for that tour. But I really love. But so when I went into my college, I thought of why can't I do something for myself first? So I'm like, okay, I started saving money and started traveling. So when I started traveling, I fell in love with nature. But I'm like, I have seen this. It's really beautiful. I hope a lot of people really really love to see what I've seen. There are people who have money or potential of going to tour or going on a safari or going to see the attraction, but they're just afraid or they're not informed. So I thought of that, but I thought of my friends. So right now, seeing where I am, I started with friends. I inspired them. But you guys, do you know that we can go and trap gorillas? They were, no, it is too expensive. So I had to arrange and take them. They were inspired, so they told other people. So every time I take my friends, I take good pictures. I share it to the world. So that's why photography, loving nature, I saw, because it started me going there, then I fell in love, then I spread the word, then the word, it wasn't enough because I was telling people things that they're not seeing. So I really had to go and buy a camera so I can take good pictures or videos, and then I show them like, hey, when we went this side, we saw this, we saw this. So it really helped, and it was so amazing. So it made me really love tourism. So I was like, I think I should come out with a company. So I came out with my own company, opening up in my name, Kisembo. So I called my company Kisembo Simba Uganda. But my company started with my friends. And then a friend called a friend, a friend called a friend shows a friend the pictures they took on their trip. So it was inspired. So my dream was to try to attract my friends around my community to engage into tourism, start knowing their culture, start loving their country, start touring their own country. Then from there, I was like, I think the world should know I should not be in Uganda only, but I need the people from Australia, the people from US, the people from outside Uganda to know what we're having or what we're doing. I started it last year, last year. That's when I was like, I think I should open up a page which can generally show what Uganda offers or what can you do in Uganda, because people never knew that Uganda is safe. People never knew that Uganda has a lot of things to offer. But people needed to know that it's not only wildlife. Uganda has a lot. Uganda has beautiful hotels where you can go. Uganda has nightclubs where you go and party. It's so crazy because our capital city is the best when in East Africa, it is the best for the people who need nightlife. And it is very safe for the travelers and the locals. You can walk at night, you dance till you get tired. So I was like, I really need to show the world this thing. And finally, I did it, and here I am today. Yeah, thank you.
That's an amazing journey. And to see like from where you started to where you got to and inspiring the people around you to join you along the journey to then getting the camera and taking the photos and improving and getting out there. So good to hear because for myself, I never knew that you could go on a gorilla trek because my idea of a safari beforehand was mainly in a Jeep driving through more like a desert type, seeing lions and giraffes. But I never knew you could go on the gorilla trek. And for me, like gorillas are my favorite animals. And then now it's made me super keen to be able to, in the future, book a flight, come to Uganda and go on the gorilla trek and have the experience.
Yes, please. So for the gorillas in Uganda, I really wanted people to really know about these endemic species. You know, like my first time, me personally, before taking tourists in Bwindi to see the gorillas, I really had to go and see for myself as well. So when you reach and you start going in that thick rainforest, and you reach out the family and you look at the family, it's really an amazing experience because when you reach to the family, we people really need to learn a lot from these animals. People call them wild animals, but right now I see they have that sense of humor, you know, like they are always together right now, which I don't see in people because we are always fighting or we are always competing because this one has done this. So we are so competitive, we are full of hatred. But when you look at the gorillas, you see that unity, like a mother, a son, a sister, an uncle, they're all together. They respect each other and they protect each other. They communicate. You see how the mother nurtures a baby. So most of the time, that's why I write on my page, like they share the same DNA. Let me tell you, I'm sorry to say this, but right now the women throw their kids sometimes in foster homes, sometimes in I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But the girl can stay with the baby for 5 years. It can never abandon its baby. It can never happen unless it dies, unless the mother dies. But it really, like when you're with them, you really learn that thing of humanity, like how we should be doing. Why we shouldn't be so this thing so-called modern world. No, we should be like that, acting like that. Like a silverback protecting its family from danger, like a mother trying to take care of the baby, nurturing the baby. Like, hey, you shouldn't be aggressive, because sometime back I saw something like the baby was so stubborn on us, and then the mother caned the baby. I was like, how can this happen? Right now, in our modern world, when a mother tries to discipline a baby, it's an offense, you know. But these gorillas, they nurture the baby. They are so disciplined. So when you reach to them, you really learn, starting from the baby to the mother, to the dad, to the uncle, the way how they are communicating, the way how they respect each other, the way how like there is a lot to see. It's really a life-changing thing, I need to tell you. So most of my tourists we take there, they cry when they see the experience. They cry. So to me, when I talk about it, I feel so emotional because it's a lifetime experience, and I really recommend people to do it. I need them to experience, because you spend 1 hour with them, but that 1 hour, it's really life changing. You see how we should be. They are more than us on the way how they're handling their things now. Like I told you, right now we are so competitive. They aren't. They're so cooperative.
When
And really so I love that. I really love seeing a mother trying to nurture its baby, breastfeeding, trying to show, hey, you climb a tree like this, you eat like this. It's really an amazing thing. That's what I can really tell.
it does sound like, because you look at the world at the moment and you see all the divide in the world and the separation, and we could learn so much from the gorillas and the way they behave and the way they live their life and the way they stick together in the community and look after each other, but also have fun as well. I feel like by going there and observing them and being within their own culture, per se, you can actually learn so much, hey?
Yeah, sure, sure. That's why I really always tell people to always come and find these guys in their natural habitat. Like you see the freedom they're having where they are. You see that freedom, like they always stay in the rainforest. So you see that freedom. So that one motivates you to even tell your friend, come and join it, come, like, okay, let's go. Because every time you're there, you contribute a lot to their existence. Every time when someone comes to the gorilla to come and do gorilla, and you buy a gorilla permit, you really contributed a very big thing to their existence. So seeing them in their natural habitat, it's really an amazing thing. You see the freedom they're having because they are not limited. Like they move for wherever they want. Um, that freedom, like a person, like the way how me, you, how we are free. So you
Yeah.
see that freedom. It's not like you go in a zoo and see a mountain gorilla can't be in a zoo because its nature is to be in a rainforest, a thick rainforest. That's its nature.
When you're out there with the gorillas, do you ever feel like an energetic connection or like a spiritual thing or of anything of that nature?
Yeah, so like before we start the gorillas, because we always travel and then you sleep near the national park. You really connect to the nature. You see how this thick forest, how beautiful those sounds. Then you really connect from near when even you haven't entered the national park. You really connect with nature, and when you reach near them, you see the connection. You really feel that spiritual thing. You like there is that bondage which I can't really tell, but you can feel and express for yourself. It's really magical and life changing. That's why I can tell, because every time when you're there, it's really an amazing thing because it's you and nature and the gorillas. And I can't really, I don't know how I can explain, but the thing is that you connect with nature. You first connect with nature where they are before even reaching to them, because the park is so quiet. It is so thick, you pass through a very thick forest. Even the rangers are the one way for you, like they go with the pangas or machete to clear and then to make sure you access the park. But you should know it's an amazing experience by you bonding with nature. Go out from that busy world of phones, computers. So like that 1 hour you spend there, you try to bond and try to connect with nature. It's really a life-changing thing. And I have posted a group of people 3 times. They always do it regularly. They go and they come back. They go and they come back. I'm really happy for that. Yeah, but you should know, going back to your question, is that you really connect with them. You really connect with, there is that bondage. The bondage is there.
Because that nature art makes so much sense. Because here in Australia, if I go out in nature, whether it's a waterfall, whether it's out in the rainforest, whether it's to the beach, it's the most I feel connected to myself. And it's the most I feel whole. It's the best I usually feel is actually when I'm connected with nature. Because this trek that you do over in Uganda, it's an 8-day trek. Am I correct?
Yeah, sure. But so I did trek. When we say I did trekking, it means there is a lot of things to see, because you might come, you want to see gorillas, but we would really need to show you another part of Uganda. Because in Uganda, you can have a chance to walk with the zebras. You can have a chance to walk with the giraffes in their natural habitat. So it's really an experience. Like you go and see the community, how people live. When I was in Europe sometime back, um, there is something that I saw. I'm like, we Africans, we are so like we appreciate on what we have, and we are really great by when you see, like when I was there for like a month, I was like, how do these people not satisfied on what they're having? Like I saw a lot of competition. Like okay, now yes, this one has an iPhone. Me, I don't have this. This one has Adidas, the latest one. I'm like a lot of pressure, and this one is staying in this house. This one, but in Uganda, someone stays in a house, one room, and with 5 kids, and they're very okay, of what they're having. So we would really need to show people how we are, how we live, and we don't regret on how we are living. But when people see the way how we are living, they think we are suffering. But no, we are not suffering. The thing is that that's how we are living, and we are free with them. Someone is free living in a single room with 2 or 3 kids. People come and they ask those people who stay in a single room, like, how do you do it? Because in Europe, you stay in a house with washrooms inside, with a kitchen inside. I think you know what I'm talking about. With a dining room, with a sitting room. But here in Uganda, yeah, we have houses. But when we go in the community, you will really appreciate, like, you having a shoe. It's a blessing. Someone doesn't have a phone, never heard about Instagram, never heard about Facebook, but they are very okay, and it doesn't bother them. Someone you come with your expensive or fancy thing, they really don't care, because they don't know. So I really laugh about that. They live their life. So we would really love when you come to Uganda, see how these people are living, and then try to interact with them. Then it's not always about safari going in. No, it's not always like that, no. But you learn about a new culture, because you might have grown up in Australia, you haven't been to Africa. So when you come, we would really love you to see what is Uganda. We don't need to take you in these fancy places, but we really need you to see. Okay, Ugandans live like this. and to us it's very okay. And try to test our organic foods because Ugandans are farmers. Like you might find every home has a big plantation of bananas, a big plantation of mangoes. So you really need to test that organic food, like fruits or anything. But you should know, like a lot of fruits in Uganda, they're organic. You really need to know how do Ugandans do farming. People need to know that because we know that in Australia, most of the people in Uganda, we don't use machines. They use hands with hoe. They go and dig, plant it. You would really love to know how do they fetch water. Some people don't have taps, and then you go and see where they get water. It's an experience. You don't only come for Gorilla. You first get that African experience. You really need to know, share the culture. How do people live? How do we do farming? How do we make money? How do we make a living? Like, I think you know what I'm talking about. Like right
Yeah.
now, when I come in Australia, I really love to know how do you do farming? How do you live? How do you do this? How do you do this? If it's my first time, I would really need to know and learn your culture, something like that. That's really I would really need to know is in Australia, do you have cultures or
Yeah.
it's just yeah, something like that. I would really know
Yes.
how much are in Australia. I would really love to know that. And I think before we end the show, you should tell me how many cultures you have. Thank you.
Yeah, because the culture thing is so important. I'm keen to hear more about Uganda, but on Australia, there is quite a few diverse cultures here because to begin with, you have the First Nations people, so the indigenous of Australia, and their culture is amazing because it dates back thousands of thousands, like tens of thousands of years since forever. And being able to submerge and really learn about the Aboriginal culture of Australia is amazing, and there's so much you
Mm,
can learn. But in terms of like what you're talking about there with organic food, mainly with Australia at the moment, you go to the shop and get your food. No one really sources their own farming unless you live in the outback or you live a bit more inland of Australia. But one thing I
mm,
do see with the people here is that everyone is wanting to go towards more organic food and people are wanting to learn how to do it themselves. And I see the tide changing with that. And that's why I'm very fascinated about Ugandan people because they're able to source it straight from the ground and grow it. And then they have the food there and it's ready. And it doesn't go through any process. It's not through the factories. It's not filled with chemicals, things that can harm you. It's straight from the source. And I feel a lot of people over here are wanting the more natural way of living and are looking for that.
mm. Yeah, and another thing is that a few people in Uganda eat packed foods like the way how you guys are doing it in Europe. It is very rare to find someone eating packed meat because people prefer fresh one. If you're vegetarian, you always get fresh vegetables and at a very cheap prices like $2, $3, or €1 or £2. That is the range. £4. That is the range of the tomatoes, onions, Irish potatoes. I like because we are farmers. We have plenty of food, so it is very cheap here. But the world needs to know that because people might know, like, okay, right now in Africa, people are starving, but no, you should know we are farmers. The biggest percentage, we are farmers, and it's really an amazing thing that people should really know about my country, about Africa and Uganda at large, because every region we are having, like where I am right now, we plant bananas and we produce a lot of millet because we have a lot of cows. And another central, really another like another part of Uganda, and a lot of things like every region with its own thing. But you should know organic. And the fruits, because sometime back I checked, I saw in Europe these things are now becoming expensive. When you're trying to buy groceries, it's really expensive. And I was like, whoa, I think you guys should really come and see what is happening, and then you really appreciate and and you really be proud of what you're having. But you should know, Uganda people are farmers. They're really hardworking. Ladies are really, really, really hardworking. They really work so hard for their families here. And even men as well, we are really hard work. We do a lot of things to make sure that our families we do well.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. Because like with Uganda as well, do you have a main sport that everyone loves to play? Because Australia, it's a bit mixed. So they have like AFL, which is Australian Football League. You have rugby, you have soccer. So you have like multiple sports that people play. People in Uganda, are you guys the same over there? Like you play multiple different sports, or is it mainly one sport that everyone likes to get into?
Yeah, so in Uganda, me personally, I do play frisbee. I play squash. I play table tennis. So we play a lot of games. Here we play football, we play netball, we play rugby, we play a lot of games, and it's really an amazing thing that. And thank you for asking. Yeah, we play a lot of games because right now, like the world is people are so exposed. So even if like there is a new game that there is this game called Paddle something. Yeah, right now it's new. Right now in Uganda, people are trying to pick the culture. Yeah, like there is a lot of things. We play a lot of things, like the way how we do, because people move, see, and then when they go that side, they bring that culture here. It's not
Yeah.
like sometime back, uh, golf was played by the rich guys in Uganda. I don't know whether it is for the rich guys in Australia, but right now, even the locals can play golf in Uganda.
Yeah. Yeah, I play golf sometimes, but I think in Australia, golf is just because they have like really good deals and it's quite cheap over here to play golf. And there's like golf courses everywhere. So it's easy accessible, but I mainly play mini golf. It's the thing I'm good at.
Yeah, but one thing I need to tell you is that school, there are some fancy games that people even never heard about, but like squash, people don't know about squash. Few people know about squash, and mostly rich guys around. They're the one playing it, and even table tennis. Mostly here, it's being played by some rich guys around, and even golf as well. It is played by those rich guys.
So if
But football, it's a normal game.
football, yep. Do you watch football?
I do watch football, but I always support my local teams.
Yeah. What team do you support?
I support Uganda Cranes.
Oh, awesome. So
Yeah,
like
I think I heard about it. It's our national team.
my team's Liverpool because that's where I'm originally born.
Yeah, I support even Manu as well. When we go for international, I support Manu.
Sadio Mane, yep.
Yeah, though it's doing bad nowadays, but I support it.
So
I love it.
yeah, I love the football. It's a big part of my life, football, especially Liverpool and being able to get into sport as well, because it's a good way to stay fit and healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, and for football has now like mostly right now, what is representing Uganda mostly is these guys who are running, and netball girls are the one representing Uganda now. Even these athletes who go to run. So Uganda mostly, some people know it because of these athletes who do running and netball, but for football, not really. We are
Like,
trying our level best. The best thing that the biggest percentage, like the people who really represent Uganda out there, are these athletes who do run long races and netball as well.
Netball, yeah, netball's huge over here in Australia too at the moment.
Mm.
If
So
someone was to come and visit Uganda, like how long would you recommend would be enough time to be able to delve into the culture and really explore all the different beautiful aspects of Uganda?
yeah, it depends the time you're having because some people come and spend 20 days because, like I told you, we have different regions. I think you have ever heard about the Maasai.
Mm. Yeah.
The Maasai people. So like there are people that there's a like you go and spend time with them, learn their culture. How do they live? Like you go in those regions, you go on safari and then try to visit people. It depends the time you're having. Like someone might say, okay, I want 8 days in Uganda. And then we draft a package for 8 days for you. There are some people who say, okay, we want to spend 20 days in Uganda. Still, we do the same thing. We try to package something and you tell us what is your interest, and then you're like, okay, me, I want to do this in Uganda, I want to do this and this and this and this. Or you might say, what are you recommending? After we recommend a package, we share all the information, and then it's you to tell us, but me, I don't want this, you can replace it with this. So that's how we do and organize the package for our clients.
Oh, so it can be very personalized for each person so they get the most of the experience they're looking for.
Yeah, so like the package you're having, we don't we do the package with you. We're like, okay, where can we change? What can we add? What is your interest? What would you like to see? So like we personalize that package for you.
Mm. No, that's really good because in that way you end up getting the most out of it and you get to really see every different part that you're looking forward to.
Yeah, because we would really love people from Australia and people from other parts of the world who are listening to us to really come and experience this thing that we are talking about. Learn. Don't just come for gorillas. Don't just come for wild animals. No, come and learn the culture, um, like the way how you're going in Dubai, and then you go and learn you see those guys how they are living. That's a culture, you know.
Yeah.
So you come and experience the real culture around here. Try to learn, and then you create stories and memories. I believe it's another experience because um, there is a lot to see, which I can't really tell and end it, but it's you to see and experience by yourself.
So I heard when people talk about coming to Australia, they always fear the snakes and the spiders and the sharks. And sometimes it
Mm.
can make people not want to come because they're afraid of the animals or the insects that Australia has. But you've really got to come to Australia to see the beauty it has because Australia is such a beautiful country. But do you find the same with you again? Like some people are afraid to go because of the wildlife that's there, but then it's just letting them know that the wildlife won't harm you, especially in the villages. And if you stay, like if you don't go into their territory and basically hassle them.
Yeah, so that's a very good question, and thank you for coming out with that. So like right now, when I think about Australia, I think about snakes because recently a friend of mine shared me a video like they're trying to get a snake from the ceiling.
Yeah.
I was like, and told me snakes are very common that side and the big ones.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa. So like uh, to me, I don't see it as a bad thing because I believe every place, like so right now, Uganda, they might know, might read in the news some, you know, like I don't know, but some people put bad things about the country. And like right now, when I try to search is Australia safe for tourists? Of course, to me, I would really first look about those snakes issues, about all those things, you know. But Uganda is very safe, starting from its people within. They are very welcoming. Whenever they see someone new, they will really and it will welcome you. They would really need to know you. They would really need to share what they're having, try to create a conversation. That's the community where we are staying in, and to make sure they first ask you, where are you from? What do you do? How long are you staying in Uganda? Like everyone wants to know you. And about food, you don't need to worry about that. And about roads, we are very good. And for the animals, you don't need to worry. They are in a national park. We in Uganda is not like sometimes when someone say I'm going in Africa. Africa is not like there's some people who really they are so green about, they don't know that Africa is a continent. So when we talk about Uganda, they really don't really get it. So, but Uganda, it's a country, and these wildlife, they stay in one place in a national park, which is well protected. So you are very safe, and every time you go on a safari, you have a ranger guide to protect you, and those animals can't attack you as well because they are habituated, they are used to people. So you are 100% very safe.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's what I say to people when they want to come to Australia. I'm like, yeah, there is spiders and there is snakes and there is sharks, but you're still very safe, because when you actually hear about someone getting attacked by a snake is very, very rare. Like, it rarely happens. Because snakes usually, when they see you or they hear you, they try and go the opposite way as soon as they hear sound. Same with spiders, they're always trying to run away from you, so they're coming towards you. It's just being like aware of your surroundings, basically.
Yeah, people need to know something about nature, or people need to know something about wildlife. The thing is that when like a lion sees you, it won't make a step towards you. No, it, it will never. It will just give you space, and then you pass away. I have seen it, and when like you are with the gorillas, they will never attack you. Never, because they give you space. Like you said, the snakes will give you away. They run or hide. Those two things. So it's we humans who are so stubborn and really try, when you see and then you try to invade where they have run, like a snake has run and then it's trying to hide itself. You're going towards it. Of course, it has to defend itself. So, and yeah, I mean, I would really love to come in Australia, and I'm really thinking to come.
It'd be
Yeah,
great to
thank
have
you,
you here.
something like that. But I'm really planning to.
Yeah, like
Yeah, sure, and I would really love. Hmm. Yes, please.
with the
I would really
gorilla. Oh, sorry, you go.
Yeah, I would really love to come, and mostly what is bringing me that side is to spread the gospel for what our country is offering, and me personally to learn about the culture and the people, how they are living.
Like, with
Yes,
Uganda
please.
culture, what is like the food staple of Uganda? Because Australia, the big food staple for Australians is meat pies. So, like, for Uganda, like, do you have a national food or a national dish?
Yeah. We have matoke. Have you ever heard about matoke?
I have not. What is it?
Yeah, matoke, it's a plant. It's a plant. There are these fruits which are being planted. I think, like, yellow banana, they're similar to that, but for them, we don't eat them when they're yellow. We eat them when they are still green. And we peel them, we prepare them, they're very good. And we normally take matoke with chicken. If you're vegetarian, you take it with the vegetables. But like I told you, we have regions. There are some people who take millet flour with meat or millet flour with vegetables. There are people who, like, every region has its own favorite. That's what I can tell. Every region has its own favorite. Like in Australia, Australia is general, but you have regions, I believe.
Yeah, Australia is
Like,
massive.
okay, so when we say Australia, you take it generally, but there are some regions like you find the other side they like pizza, this side they like burger, this side they, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But in general, like the way how you cite, we like matoke. The matoke, I think I'll share with you how it looks like. And it's very hard when you're in Uganda to not see a banana plantation, because every home has bananas. It's our main food, and people really love to come. And Uganda is called the Banana Republic because we have a lot of bananas. Yeah, I think I'll share with you more about that.
Yes, please. That'd be amazing. I'd love to try that.
Yeah, it's really amazing. When you come, you'll see. And when I come that side, you really need to show me how your food. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'll show.
Yes,
With
please.
with the gorillas
Yes,
as well,
please.
like what foods do they usually eat?
So they like eating leaves and roots. That is what they normally eat: roots and leaves and the barks of the trees. They like eating those a lot, and they
Sounds
eat all day. They eat all day long. They don't get tired of eating. They eat all day long. That's why you see they're very huge. They have huge bellies. So they
so
eat all day long. So every morning when they wake up, they start eating until evening, until the day goes dark. That's how they live their life.
so I was so interested to see like gorillas because they're so big, and muscular as well, even with the big bellies, because they don't really, it doesn't seem like they have much of a protein diet. But is it just because of they eat so much food, they're able to grow so big?
And what I can tell is that it's their nature. Like, I need to give you an example. Like, it's their nature them to be like that because they're very huge. Because, like you see, and even eating contributes a lot. Eating contributes a lot, and even their healthy contributes a lot. If they're healthy, they will grow very big. Like, but mostly the silverback are the ones which are huge, more than the female one. A female is small, and a silverback is very big. When I say silverback, that's a male gorilla. It's the one that protects the family. So, and another thing people need to know about the gorillas is like when a female is pregnant, it runs away from the family. It goes to make sure sometimes it shifts from that family, and it goes create another family, something like a family group. Because sometimes when these silverback gorillas, when they grow, they start fighting. When like you can't have two kings in one kingdom, so they always fight for that. Like, I'm the one in control. I'm the one in control. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
try to fight each other, but it's between them, not we. And they saw their things there. So sometimes when one grows, it goes and start another family. When one silverback grows, it starts on another family. So here in Uganda, we have families of gorillas, and they can be easily identified. And the rangers are very good on that. They even named them, so they know when we go there. They know people, so people should know they shouldn't get worried about tracking gorillas or even walking with the zebras or walking with the giraffes. It is very safe here. And another thing is that the roads are very good. They shouldn't worry about it. We have good lodges. Those who want sleep in the fancy lodges, there we have a lot of fancy lodges around. And those who want to come in Uganda and do gorilla tracking, still there's those airstrips which those small planes which will get you from the main airport to these small airstrip around the park. Still, there is a possibility if you want to fly from from Entebbe to near the national park, you can do gorillas and then you fly back home. It's very possible to those who don't want to travel in the car. So all those things can be arranged. Like you want to spend 2 days in Uganda, you want to do gorillas, and then you fly back to Australia, it is very possible. We pay, you go and then land in Entebbe, and then you get a small flight, and then it lands you near the national park. In the morning, you do gorilla trekking, and then you fly back to Entebbe, you fly home. That one, we normally do that to those people who don't want to spend a lot of time, who don't have a lot of time, or those who don't want to spend a lot of time traveling. And for those who are unfit, still there is a very big possibility. There are those people who called porters we are having. They make sure sometimes they carry these people who are unfit to take them to the nearest gorilla family. You get to see them, so it means everyone can do gorillas, and kids can't do gorillas unless they are 12 years old, because we don't allow children. The government doesn't allow children to go in the park to go to do chimpanzee tracking or gorilla tracking. But when the child is 12 years, you're very safe. And for those who are unfit, they don't need to worry. There are those people who can help them to make sure they go and see the gorillas and then bring them back. I really wanted to tell you this information. Then the world should know. Like, even though you're unfit, still you can do. Whether you're old or but still you can do. If you say, me, I can't walk that distance, there are people to help you to make sure that your dream come true of seeing a gorilla, to go and visit the gorilla families. Yes, please.
Yeah, because it sounds like it's very accessible from everyone from all walks of life. And I recommend people to go and experience Uganda, but also go and experience the gorilla trek as well, and experience the whole culture as a whole. Because I know for myself, this is definitely something that is now on my bucket list to go and experience, to go and see the culture of Uganda and meet the people and really experience the country and the people.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm emphasizing people to come and learn about the culture is that people they normally see another picture of Africa either on their social media or on the television. They take what they are seeing on the television, and what is on the television is not real, because what I'm seeing on the TV about um in other countries is not real unless I go and experience it, you know. So what I need to tell the world that what the people are seeing or what they're showing about Uganda or Africa, it's a lie. You need to come and experience and see, how do these people live? How do we live? How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we survive? You know, you try to interact with the locals. You come to get the experience. Yes, you try to get everything, like the full package. That's why I'm like, oh, you need to know the culture, because it's very good to share cultures, because you get to know the world. You're like, okay, now in Uganda, people behave like this, they're like this, they live like this. Not going on a safari, being in the safari vehicle, like you said, go in the desert. No. Try to learn about the people who are living in the desert. How do you guys live? Where do you get water? Where do you get food? How do you make it in those tents? I think you know what I'm saying if you have been in the desert. But there are some people who walk in the desert with the camels. How do they live? How do those camels live? I wonder. Where do you get the water? Something like that. Like my first time being in Dubai, when I went in this, I'm like, how do these people live in this? That's not being in the city, but there are those people, locals, who are in the desert. Because when we say Dubai, people think of these fancy buildings, but they have those local people. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like when they're showing the world, they show these fancy cities, but Dubai has villages. Those are the real people that you should really know. Then those are the people that you go down there, learn about their culture, learn about their food, learn about everything. But
People don't know that about Dubai. They normally go and visit these fancy buildings. So no. So try to go and reach out to those people. They will try to tell you stories. They will try to tell you how they live. They will try to tell you and then share the food, like because they have their traditional food so spiced and so delicious. That's what I want when I come in Australia. I need to taste their local food. I need to learn, like, I really, really need to learn how do they live. I really need to learn everything I see around me. I need to go like, okay, now you're taking me in these mountains. How do those people in the mountains live? Because we have people who live in Mount Rwenzori. You have a mountain called Rwenzori, and it is one of the highest peaks. It was one of the highest peaks in Africa, but because there was a volcanic eruption, right now it's the third. So people should know about you can do a hike in Rwenzori because people know Kilimanjaro, but there is a mountain which is longer than Kilimanjaro, which has the highest peak, the Peak Margarita. I think when you get time, or the people who are listening, they try to Google for Mount Rwenzori in Uganda. These are the things they should really come and do and visit because I think you have never heard about Mount Rwenzori.
Yeah,
but people should really.
It makes so much sense about the culture because talking about Australia quickly, like, because Australia has different cultures depending on where you live. Like the same with Uganda, depending on where you live, there may be a little bit of a difference because you have the beach side and the culture on the beach life of Australia is completely different to the people that live in the desert in the outback, which is completely different to people that live in the city as well. So there's all these different types of different cultures, like just within Australia. And I'm guessing it would be the same for over there too.
So that's what I'm talking about. Like the beach culture, and there are two worlds we are living in. So, and you would really love to experience. And I would really love when I come and when I plan to, um, and I'll really make sure I do that because I would really love to see, though it is too cold that side.
When you come, let me know. I'll show you around.
Yeah, but you should know your country is very cold.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be because, like, what's the temperature usually get up to in Uganda?
The temperatures keep on changing every time. So, like right now, the temperatures are really down. I think I need to check. But the temperatures are really down. They always has. So it depends the region where you're staying. So right now they are the temperature is 27. You can imagine. But it depends the regions. There is a region which is hot. There is the region which is cooler. So like the region where the gorillas staying, it's always cold. It's always cool. The temperatures are very, very down.
Yeah.
Because it's in the rainforest, so that region is very, very cold. And so like I can't right now, we can't tell the temperatures, but you tell the temperatures according to the region where you are. But we always advise people to always come with sunscreen. Of course, there is sun, and the mosquito repellents. Mosquito repellent. Of course, there is mosquitoes here. Yeah, we always recommend that, and we always tell people before they come to take their yellow fever vaccine. Before they come to Uganda.
I like how you said earlier because it makes so much. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, please.
I love how you're talking about earlier about how the media lies and it's always best to go and experience the culture because you don't want to listen to people that have never been to Uganda or people that have never been to Australia and then they're the ones telling you about what that country is like. Instead, you should speak to the people that live there and grew up there, that are in the culture, that are of the people. Then you can really get the true story of what that country is truly like.
Yeah, so when like I was said, And the things that people see on social media, the thing that people see on the TVs, it's not a real thing that you always see. Because sometimes when I look at those Western TVs, I'm like, but this is not real, you know?
Yeah.
Like this is not happening here. I'm like, and where are these guys getting these things? You know, I really get surprised. But the life we are living in, the environment we are living in, it's different things that you always see, because they will say we have very beautiful hospitals around. Uh, Children are going to school, but they will never show that on the TVs. For those who want beautiful lodges, they don't show the lodges on those TVs on social media. They always show other things, you know. But me personally, that's why I always keep telling people it's you to come and experience, and then it's me to show you this is what we are having, and you to know and to embrace, and then to know what's really happening here. You should know the place is so peaceful. There is no war in Uganda. There is no any disease in Uganda like they normally show on the media. The country is disease free, unless the other COVID-19 pandemic. That's, I think, we were all affected. But you should know we are COVID free right now, and the country is very safe for the tourists. But all they need to know is that the things they read on social media, the things they see on the TV, it's very different on the things which are going on the ground. That's what I can tell to them. I can really tell to the world and to the people who are listening to us.
No, it's great to hear, because I think it's a really good message to put out there, because bring the awareness of the beauty that the country has to offer in like every single aspect that it has. So I'm really keen to be able to come down. I'm sure the listeners are looking forward to put Uganda in their bucket list and make a trip out there as well. But like before we finish up here, do you have anything final that you'd like to share? Maybe it's a message, maybe it's something that is sitting on your heart, but do you have anything final that you'd like to share with the audience here before we finish?
Yeah, sure. And I would really love to thank One Talk podcast for hosting me today. I'm really happy, and to those who are listening to us, I'm really humbled, and I'm really glad that today have shared this message that is reaching out to the people that we have never met. And this was my dream, trying to share the culture, the beauty of my country to the world, and it's really happening. So I'm really looking forward to see people to reach out, the people who are in Australia or all over the world who are listening to us, to really come and experience, to come and to come and share the culture, come and learn new culture. I would really love to see that. And I'm really happy when I host you one day and you host me one day that side. It will be a pleasure as well. But all I need to do, I need to tell the world that Uganda is very safe. You should really come and learn about all these things that we have shared. You come and track the gorillas. Every time you come, the money you pay, you contribute a lot to protect them. You contribute a lot in protecting them, because these are the endangered species we're having. We only left with 1,063, the one that I told you before. So those ones, to sustain them, to protect them, you need to come in Uganda. Every time, your presence means a lot, even to the revenue of the people, even to the people you support the community as well. So I'm just saying my last word, like I'm really thankful for hosting me today. And please, and next time when you have a chance, you can always host me. I'm really open to that. Thank you so much.
Most definitely. And thank you, Kisembo, for coming on the show today and really sharing everything that you share, because you've given myself and also the audience here so much insight into Uganda and everything it has to offer. So thank you. And also for the people listening, please check the bio of this episode. You'll find all the information you need in everything that we talked about in today's episode. But I appreciate everyone listening and also appreciate you coming on today, Kisembo.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.